Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the HK G11 K2 mod, which is being made by user ASXAS, and what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is the real-world HK G11 rifle, which we actually have previously seen in the Fallout franchise in Fallout 2, and you know me, I always love adding in weaponry from the previous Fallout games. So let's take a look in the Pip-Boy at what we do get here, and the most standard version of the HK G11 K2 rifle is a pretty interesting looking thing, but I mean, it looks like it looks in the real world, and that is a thing indeed. Now, it's not exactly the most powerful weapon, dealing only 23 damage using 5mm rounds with a firing rate of 66, range of 119, accuracy of 76, and a weight of 12.9. And we do have a pretty good selection of modifications allowing us to turn this weapon into a variety of things, from fully automatic suppression weapons to, you know, a good old-fashioned sniper rifle. Now, as for how you get your hands on this thing, when you do load in the mod, you will get a quest called A Brick in the Wall, which you'll actually have to go and find a mysterious note leading you to a place where you find the gun. And after you do that, it'll actually pop up a little UI element asking you if you do want to add the gun into the leveled loot list. So after you found the first gun, you can start to see it added into the Commonwealth in other areas, on both enemies and in vendors, which is pretty handy. And then there are, of course, several, I believe 4 different special versions, unique legendaries of the gun for you to find as well. So let's take a look at the modifications we have here. I'm actually going to switch up to another one of my guns that has the rail attachment so we can see all of the scopes in this thing, and head to the weapon workbench. Now let's go to here and start in the receiver category, where we have the pretty standard things, from standard to calibrated hair trigger heavy frame up to powerful and calibrated powerful. So just whichever receiver you are wanting to go with there, adding different damages, critical chances, and whatnot. Then we have in the barrel category 3 different barrels of either the standard short, a medium, or a long barrel. We then have the sight category, where we can choose to put a rail on the top, giving us even more options for scopes. But then we also do have the standard sight, a prototype sight, and then a see-through version of both of those, which is quite nice. Now then we have the muzzle category here, where we have a large number of different compensators in muzzle brakes, or of course you could go with none, but we have the competitor's compensator, heavy duty compensator, Barrett M82 muzzle brake, Spec Ops muzzle brake, Bird of Prey muzzle brake, Precision Armament M11 compensator, the MZ12 muzzle brake, Breacher compensator, and then finally a suppressor. And then after that we have a Velcro category, which adds a little icon or symbol element to the back of the gun, where you can either have none, a blank, a trap, a sully, blue tape, a dab word, SPC, Oh Dear, Hit or Miss, Brotherhood of Steel, The Institute, Haru, Vault Samurai, or Halo, just to add in an extra little visual element. Now we then have control over the zoom of the gun, where we either have default, medium, or high zoom, and I believe it's 2, 4, or 6x if I'm remembering correctly. Then after the zoom category, we have the rail, of course, if you attached the rail, where we then have a much larger number of different sights to use, from the MBUS, a glow version, Micro T1, M145, Aimpoint CS, and the SRS-02. So just a nice little selection of different scopes there to get you exactly what you want. And then after the rail, we have the fire mode, where we can choose single, burst, or automatic. After that, and the last of the categories, we have the skin of the gun, so you can change it up. Now, the standard is the dark polymer, but we also have the Cryptek, the tan polymer, wood, and bakelite, if, you know, you want to go for a bit of a retro vibe. And those are all of the modifications for this gun, though that's actually kind of a lie, because remember I told you you get that UI pop-up when you find the gun via the quest? The second pop-up that comes up after the leveled list integration is if you want to add damage modifiers. I said no, but if you say yes, you can actually go in here and add in a damage modifier to make the gun even more powerful. Which, I mean, I've talked about in the past, I'm not a fan of damage modifiers, but if you are, and say you want to use this gun for longer, because, well, let's be frank, this is the most powerful I was able to make the gun, and that ain't exactly a lot, 45 damage. So if you do like damage modifiers, you can bring this up quite a bit more through that. But let's actually go and take a look at this thing shooting, and let's start with the standard gun first, or as close to standard as possible, just with the lowest tier of all of the attachments. We have the standard scope on here, and fire. And I just realized I still have on God mode from when I was testing stuff earlier, so let's turn that off so we can actually see the reload animation on this. There we go, get a few shots, and it is pretty fast firing with the burst mode, and there is that beautifully unique reload animation. It is pretty darn cool. I like it. It's one of the most unique animations I've seen in a very long time. And as for the firing rate of the gun on burst mode, it's pretty darn good, and the kickback though is a bit much, so I will not compensate for the kick. And there we are, we got all the way up to the clouds, and as you saw, it had a bit of sway back and forth as well, not just a vertical kick, we had horizontal too. And in the burst mode though, pretty good, and with the 3-shot burst, always a fun addition. Now let's go to the compensated version here, which is the fully automatic version, and using the see-through scope rather than the standard one, and fire. And there we go, that is the speed of emptying an entire magazine of that, and once again, that glorious animation. So yes, a very fun gun, and let's check the recoil on this one. After the entire magazine, a little bit more than with the burst mode, but not too bad. I think burst we got to the bottom of the clouds, and that one we got to the middle of the clouds there. And finally, we have the single-shot suppressed version here with a nice scope with the maximum zoom level that we could get, and fire. So there you go, even on the single shot, we have a pretty good fast firing rate, and this one, of course, being a lot more controllable with the various modifications that I have added, and yeah, just overall, a good little gun. So let's go and check these out against our usual targets over there of Will and Randy and see how they fare. Now, this one, again, is the most powerful version, the current gun that I'm holding, at 45 damage, so it's probably going to take a couple of shots, but let's see. Hi, Will. How are you? Oh, yeah, that really doesn't do a whole lot against him. Oh, and he's off. Oh, and he's going to make Randy the Radstag run away. Oh, that always happens with this. Well, let's switch over to the automatic one and chase him down. Come back, Randy. No, I'm not letting you get away this time. You got away last episode. We tested a weapon. Oh, he's getting away. Die! There we go. That worked. Oh, hey, Will's back. Take this. There we are. Yes, with automatic, that's a little bit better than, and at closer range, of course, than me missing targets as I usually do with firing. But yes, that is the HK G11 K2. It is a pretty beautiful gun, and being from the Fallout universe previously in Fallout 2, it's canon, so you know what? It is even better to me. So yes, if you'd like to check out this mod for yourself, which I would definitely recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description as per usual. But that is going to be it for today, my friends. I hope you all have enjoyed, and that you do come back for the next episode, when hopefully we'll be looking at yet another wonderful mod. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.